Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to March 2018. I don't even really know where to begin with you guys because this is very much a continuation from last month. I started the reading. I'm like, they're still going through what they've been going through. And before you guys watch the cards, just know that, and I mentioned this in the reading too, but I'll just mention it here, that the situation can be reversed or flip-flop. So if you're not the King of Wands and you're the Empress, then that's fine. You can just go with the story like that, because I really could see it going both ways. But I do see you guys feeling very, very stuck. And we have Jupiter going retrograde in your sign, and I think that has a lot to do with it. And it's all aspecting Pisces, which right now, in this very moment, we have all this Piscean energy, the Sun, Neptune, Mercury, Venus, Chiron, and this Jupiter retrograde is aspecting Neptune, 5th house, house of dating. You know, you can be drawn to the complicated, Scorpio, because you feel very comfortable when things are complicated. If you have a romantic interest that seems to be going well, like, love doesn't have to be hard. Life doesn't have to be hard. I think the universe is kind of throwing you a bone, but you're still very much connected with hanging on to something that was complicated. And if you're not ready, that's fine. You're just not ready. And if they're not ready, then that's fine. Then they're not ready and it just doesn't work out, you know, and it's fine. It doesn't matter. But, you know, for you to kind of own that fact and say, I'm not ready, that's important. And to let that other person know where you're at, because they'll wait if you want them to wait, but they're not going to wait that long if you don't tell them what's going on. I feel like you have an opportunity for something really solid and really beautiful. And I feel like you have an opportunity for something to really grow and to establish roots with someone. But somehow there's this resistance to it. And almost an aversion to it. And I think the Mercury, or the, well, we have a Mercury retrograde happening too in Aries, which is a fellow Mars-ruled sign. So be careful of what you say too. You know, be kind, be gentle, be sweet. This other person, you know, isn't needing any sort of antagonistic attack. And that goes both ways, right? It's not just you, it's everybody. And I think, I forgot where I was going with that. But yeah, let's see what else. You know, I know that you guys have this ability to pine over people, to pine over situations, and to like, because you guys feel things so hard. And I get it, my moon's in Scorpio, like you feel things so hard and you love so much more than most everybody else loves, right? And you just, oh, it's so intense. I will clarify in the comprehensive reading this kind of turbulence that you're experiencing, and I do clarify the connection between the two of you and kind of what's going on, the dynamics there. The choice is really yours. Like I said before, if you're not ready, you're not ready, and it's totally fine. But just let the other person know and just kind of set them free, you know? The comprehensive reading feedback I got, if you haven't watched any of the other videos, was really amazing. And I had so many people tell me that it gave them a lot of clarity. That was the word that everyone was using, was clarity. And I was ecstatic to do them again this month. I really, really was, because I was like, oh, you know, thank you. I'm so happy that people really, really like this. And if you don't want to spend, like, you know, I did them free last month as like an introduction, but I'm only charging $5.99 for it. So it's, you know, if you don't want to spend $100 or $150 on a private reading, you can still get a lot to really go off of from these comprehensive readings. So I really do. I'm so happy that they actually helped. So I will leave you with that, Scorpio. Okay, let's go on, move on into the reading. All right, thanks. Bye. Hello, Scorpio. Let's go ahead and get started. We had the first card pop out. Before I delve in, if you are dealing with a Virgo, please watch the Virgo reading as well. Okay, just putting that out there, because there was a heavy Scorpio presence in the Virgo. And, you know, I don't know what was going on with you last month, Scorpio. I hope that some of that kind of drama got cleared up or is getting cleared up. Because in the Virgo reading, there was some tension there. And I don't know really where it's coming from because I hadn't done the Scorpio reading yet. So I don't know if it will come out. If it does, we'll address it. If not, then it just kind of is what it is. But if you are dealing with a Virgo, I feel like here's their presence as well as it being mirrored in yours as well. It doesn't have to be a Virgo. It could be just you in general, right? Kind of doing that hermit thing. Usually we go into hermit modes when we're feeling this need for healing of some kind, right? When we're feeling that need for isolation and solitude, to really reconnect with who we are and to really reconnect with our spirituality and our purpose, right? And to come in greater contact with what we are truly and fully capable of on a spiritual level, not just a materialistic level, okay? And if you are dealing with someone else, it is likely that they too are in this period of isolation, meaning that there is distance in your relationships, in your friendships, in your family, whatever. There is distance. And there could even be some harshness, because the hermit, while highly spiritual, it's not always the most friendly, because when we are in this state, we start to see things for what they really are, and we start to feel like it's like this weird separation that happens between us and our world. And we start to see the world as something that is more of an illusion, right? And so things become less important. And when things become less important and people come knocking on your door or calling you on your phone like, hey, Scorpio, what's going on? What's going on? Let's go do this, and trying to gossip with you or whatever. You know, it's like you realize that it's meaningless, and we can be hypercritical sometimes of people that are getting caught up in the meaninglessness of their life, you know, kind of thing. And again, that's a Virgo quality. It's very judgmental, very critical. And like, why are you even worried about that? You know, you could be very harsh with yourself. Why are you even worried about that? Why are we even wasting our time talking about that? You know, and that's one thing with Scorpio qualities too, is it's like if it's not deep and it's not meaningful, then it becomes very boring very quickly. And some of you may be dealing with, oh, and here's the King of Wands. Didn't this come out, the King of Wands first card for you last month too? I think it did. This is such a high-minded. It's interesting that we're having the fire fixed sign. This is the card of Leo coming up for the water fixed sign, Scorpio. I like the fire and water combo, and I do think you are the more fiery water sign, right? The more ferocious, the more feisty. So this is a good, well-suited card for you. Emotions are passionate. Emotions are real. They are deep. But this guy was trying to get into a little bit of a trouble last month. You know, there was like a little bit of an addiction to the past or a difficult situation, right? It was kind of drawing you away from something that seemed very promising. Not to say that that's still going to be the case, but I don't like the past looking. You're looking away from essentially this whole reading, which is going to appear around it, right? And you're looking away. Are you kind of avoiding something that's right in front of your eyes? Is there something that you're trying to hide from? Is there something that you're afraid of? Let's see. Why aren't you looking at your Empress, Scorpio? Why aren't you looking at your Empress? What's going on there? She was the Queen of Wands last month. She is beautiful, you know. She is stable. She is very giving. But see, she only invests what the other person invests because she has a lot of self-respect. She has a lot of sense of self-worth and a sense of self-value. She understands who she is very deeply, on a very deep intrinsic level. She appreciates beauty and romance, and she appreciates softness. She has so many resources, so much love, so much knowledge, so much time, so much of all these things to give you. But she does seem to be indifferent to you. Right, here you are. But your back is, like, where are you looking, Scorpio? Why is nothing happening? Ace of Wands reverse. Why is nothing happening? Is there no opportunity presenting itself? Is there no door opening? Has communication stopped? Is there fear happening here? Are you afraid of living up to her level? Because a king is still not as fully developed as an empress. You know, she's a major arcana. She's like a consolidation of all the 4 queens put into one. That's kind of how I see her, like her 4 faces. She is whole, all the elements, fire, water, air, earth. And she is very, I don't know, she's still here though. She's not going anywhere, you know? I feel like she's waiting for you. Could be a man. I'm saying she because she's an empress, right? He because it's a king. But if you're a female, this is still you. And if you're a male, then or if you're a, doesn't matter, male or female, this is you. Doesn't matter male or female. That's the other person, okay? Just want to clarify that. Let's pull out and see what else. But they are waiting for you, this other person. I'm not trying to say that they're better than you, but they might have a more stable life. No, that's not even the right word either. I'm saying the wrong things. They might have a better hold on their spirituality than you. Knight of Swords. I'm definitely going to have to clarify that Knight of Swords in the comprehensive, for sure. We'll see what else comes out around it. What? It's like your own reflection. Like this is kind of the mask that you're wearing. This is how you present yourself to the world. But yet there is some level of fear and desperation, and you're running and sort of clinging to the Hermit. Are you running and clinging to your own solitude, to your privacy? I mean, we all know that Scorpios are highly protective anyway. They are very quiet and very personal people, right? They don't necessarily share a lot with others if they don't feel safe with them. And there does seem to be this clinging, this desperate clinging to the Hermit. I'm getting this visual of like a very obedient puppy who knows that if he breaks the rules, then he's going to get in trouble, right? And so I'm envisioning like being out on this porch or being in some kind of a forest or something, and the puppy is like doing its puppy curiosity thing, but then keeps running back to the caretaker, right? Because it's like afraid of venturing out too far. And I feel like there is a sense of security and safety. Like this hermit mode is almost like your caretaker. This hermit mode is your safe space. And so when you venture out too far, you kind of just circle around and come running back, like just to kind of touch base, just to kind of make sure that it's okay for you to run out so far. She is also a hermit, by the way. She is also either hermit moding right now, like doing this right now, or she kind of has this built into kind of like her way of life. Like this hermit mode is a very important thing for her. Or for them, sorry. Oh. Interesting to have 2 sword cards, both in the reversal, dedicated toward the Hermit. Okay, they seem to be... So is this the same person? Is this her reflection then? Is it her reflection? I would say yes. This is a card of Libra, You may be dealing with a Libra, okay? And Libra in their 12th house is the Virgo in their subconscious, right? The way kind of their mind and their dream states and stuff like that. So a Virgo Libra-esque type person, perhaps. She is wondering why she's here. You seem to be like, I'm desperately trying to get here. And she's like, why am I here? Why do I have to be here? Why do we have to be in this wintry place? This wintry place. She's about summertime, the harvest. This could also be seen as Virgo as well with the wheat here. Totally not, but if you're dealing with Capricorn, Pisces, whatever, fill in the blanks. I'm just kind of saying, okay? But you know, she understands her own winter very much, but I know that she doesn't understand why do we have to be here? And Scorpio, are you still dealing with this? Are you so afraid of this happening again? I didn't rewatch the videos from last month, so I don't really remember exactly what I said, but I think we had the tower in the back there. You know, I'm not sure. But it's almost as though there is a projected expectation of what you expect this relationship, how it's going to turn out. And, you know, you're expecting it to be this, I think. Because maybe all the relationships in the past have been this. To get a Scorpio to crack open their souls and their vulnerability is so tough. It's like the hardest thing. And while a Scorpio is so connected with their emotions, they also don't realize how connected they are with the wall between the outside world and their emotions. And you have a wall, and it's so unintentional, but it's also intentional as well. And I don't know that that's doing you a lot of favors right now, because it is driving a wedge. And I don't like that the backs are turned to one another right here. You're like together, but not together. You're there, but you're not there. And you're viewing this in 2 totally different ways. I'm going to be clarifying this row for sure. You are happy and afraid of this, but yet, and she's like, and she's not communicating with you, but you're not really communicating with her. Almost the same story as last month, right? Where it's like, it was this game of chicken. And yet there's so much beautiful potential there. Let's see what else comes out here. What did I say? 10 of Cups. So much beautiful potential. This other person really represents this. Okay? And I just had a flash in my mind. I figured I'd better say it. For those of you who are Scorpio and watching this, you may relate more to the story I'm telling with the Empress. You are the Empress, they are the King of Wands. I think it could, I'm feeling now, like now that I'm getting deeper into it, I'm like, I don't think all Scorpios are going to be the ones that are like this. I think it's going to go both ways. So just be open to your own interpretation for that. But whoever the Empress is, I do feel like Not only do they have a lot to give in terms of service, in terms of love and energy, but it seems to me like they are some kind of gateway or some kind of portal for you. And when you connect with this portal, you open yourself up to whole new dimensions of your life that you didn't even know or couldn't even imagine that were possible. I see this as being like a card where the impossible somehow becomes a reality, right? And I think it's a possibility. Do I see it becoming a reality? Not the way the cards are right now. Not with these little games. This is like a boomerang effect. This King of Wands is playing hot and cold right now, and it's not healthy, it's not good, and it pushes someone like this away. Someone like this doesn't need those types of games, right? They would prefer to go find someone else that doesn't play those games. They would prefer to know how their significant other feels about them. They would prefer to have everything laid out on the table, because this is not someone that likes to focus on the relationship. This is someone that likes to focus on other goals and ambitions and things that you can do together. And right now, there's no doubt about it that you two are on two totally different pages and you're not seeing eye to eye. You don't want the same things for the relationship and for the connection. So this person is going to stop talking to you, you know? This person is going to stop communicating. They're definitely going to stop giving to you. They're definitely not going to invest in you, you know? And it depends on how much you want to get hung up here, because you can stay here for a really, really long time. I don't believe that this person is someone that's going to lead you down this path. This is the path you're leading for yourself. They're the ones leading you here. I think they've been humbled by this experience a little bit, and it is probably something reminiscent of something they've already been through and already grown past. And that's why they're not like feeding into the drama. They're not going to feed into it. They're not going to allow it to continue. They're not going to entertain the idea, not even for 1 second, because they've already been humbled by an experience like this. And they're not afraid to walk away. Okay, see, the thing about a Queen of Swords, she can be very shrewd. She can be very harsh. And if, I don't remember if I said this in your reading or it was another signs last month, my boss has this, I have another job, and my boss has this saying. He's in commercial real estate, and he's very, 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 very successful. And he has this philosophy, and it goes like this. If the deal isn't entirely lopsided in my favor, I simply don't do the deal. So this is someone that could look a potentially amazing thing in the face and say, no, thank you. Because they're not, it doesn't serve them. And it's not out of selfishness and it's not out of greed. It's out of an understanding of what a relationship and a union of souls should really be. Okay, and again, this could be you, this could be you. Fill in your own gaps here. And so she's not going to give you anything to work with. Nothing. She's completely, like, she's taking herself off the list of options. Okay? Not quite yet, but I think that's where it's headed if this continues. So definitely going to be clarifying this in the extended reading. I'm going to pull out 3 more just to kind of sum up the reading. Scorpio. Why? Why are you feeling like a Seven of Cups? Okay, good. We got a Sun. That's good. Good news. This is the I said this in another sign too. I don't know why these all themes kind of seem to be repeating themselves. The confusion that you are experiencing is an illusion. It's a symptom of this, right? It's a product of this. It's a product of the fear that this produced. And it's not real. Like, I don't think you have anything to be afraid of. I really, really don't. I think the universe was giving you a blessing, you know? I think the universe is giving you a handout. And I think you really deserve it. Because even though all the signs got hit really hard last year, because you feel so deeply, I know that you reached a depth that you didn't know existed. Okay, so the universe is like repaying you. And you can cling to this for as long as you want, but it's cyclical, right? I showed you that kind of cycle, running and coming back, and running and coming back, and running and coming back. This person will not put up with that for very long, okay? There's no obstacles in front of you with this situation. Okay, there's nothing there. She might be a little bit bitchy right now, but she's doing that because of what she's getting from you. Okay? She's a sunshine quality. The Empress represents a sunshine quality. One of goodness, of good soul health. Okay? One of self-love and respect. And with self-love and self-respect, okay, comes a greater understanding. Now, obviously, this person is not perfect. They are still human after all. But with what they have built for themselves on the internal scale, the internal level, comes a level of unconditional acceptance of who and what you are. You seem to be more afraid of what you are than they are afraid of what you are. Okay? So to clarify, for the comprehensives, I had such amazing feedback that I was like so happy to do them again. It's one of those things where if you don't need to spend like 70 or 100 or 150 bucks on a private reading, it's like $5.99 to get a much more detailed oriented reading where we kind of delve into, definitely going to be delving into this and this, and the Seven of Cups, right, for sure, to clarify some of those things for you and to give any advice that may help you, okay? All right, go ahead and leave you there. I hope to see you on my website for the comprehensives. Thank you guys so much. If not, then I will see you next month. Take care.